Hi, Jessie with Simply Refreshing Life. Thank you for being here another week with me. As usual, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe to my channel and hit that bell button so you can get notified whenever I post something new. Today, I want to talk to you about a mindset shift I had to learn and what took me to that decision. I had to learn this the very hard way. The truth is that I had been neglecting myself badly for a few years. What suffered the most in my case was my relationship with the Lord. I didn't have one. I was always and constantly going and coming and doing and giving, that I didn't receive anything for myself. I never stopped going to church. I actually grew up in church. I was always at church. At the age of 6 years old, I knew I needed Jesus in my heart, and so I opened my heart to Him and I accepted Him as my Lord and Savior. I knew exactly what I was doing. I do not regret that decision ever. Church was part of my life as a child, as a teenager, as a young adult, and as an adult. I've always been in church. But eventually, my relationship with Him and my daily walk started to suffer, especially when I started having children, and I saw myself in a whole different dynamic in my life, which I had never been. When I was single, I was never the type of person that will babysit somebody else's kids, or or even work in the nursery in church. I would teach children as part of Sunday school, but that was a different level, because I was with them for maybe 45 minutes a week whenever I had to do it. So it wasn't like I was taking care of them. So I didn't know how to take care of children, so I devoted my life to my kids and learning how to take care of them and learning how to raise them properly, or right, if you would. And so my relationship with God was put in a second place, and wrongly doing so. Other things became also unnecessary, or not part of it, because I was too busy. My self-care was non-existent. I didn't I was eating whatever I was, whatever tasted good I will eat. I didn't spend the time looking at labels at the food. I didn't know anything about food, and I didn't research anything about food. If it was cheap, I will get it because, hey, we're in a budget, and we have to do this or whatever. And I always cooked. Cooking for me is something that I enjoy doing, but it wasn't always the healthiest foods. And so the consequence of that was, of course, overweight and pre-diabetes as well. So it was, my life was consistent of my children first, my husband, my house first, and if there's time for me, great. But if there's not, oh well. And so I didn't really do anything I enjoyed. I didn't have time for it or the energy for it. Whenever I had time for myself, I would just spend doing mindless things like watching TV or Facebook or things like that. Things that did not edify me at all. And they were just, filling in the times, or the time being, which was not very frequent, I have to say. The thing is, I didn't know any better, because I was very good at pretending. So I was always putting my best foot forward, and I was always saying, I'm okay, everything is fine. Nobody really knew what was going on. I had trouble sleeping as well. That's another thing. Because I will go to sleep lay down, and I'll be then thinking about what I forgot that day, or what I was supposed to do the next day, or things like that, and just worry. Worry is a feeling that consumes me constantly. I worried about money, I worried about kids, I worried about school, I worried about work, I worried about you name it, and I worried about it. And so worry was something that I dealt with for a long time. And this was my life. I was always constantly going, filling my days with kids' activities. We will have classes and sports, things like that. I would do the house or clean the house. I would do the cooking. I would do everything by myself. And so then I came to the realization that if I didn't take care of myself now, my kids will then later have to take care of me, because I'm still young and so I'm okay. But later, what is going to happen when my health starts to decline and my children want to do their lives and get married and have kids and everything, I won't be able to enjoy my grandkids because I'm sick. Am I going to be able to enjoy life or travel or whatnot because I'm would I be healthy enough? Would I be sick? Or what's going to happen? Prevention here is the key, right? So we have to, take preventive measures. And that thought consumed me. Seriously, it was just like, oh my God, what if, my kids are trying to make their lives and, with their families, and then they have the burden of a sick mom because I didn't take the time to take care of myself when I could. And that was a great motivator. And I had to be intentional about this mind switch. I had to be intentional about, taking care of myself. And the first thing that I started doing was fomenting or growing my relationship with God. I recognized that I had completely left that on the side. So the thing is, I never stopped going to church, right? But during the week, I will not read the word. I will, not pray. My prayers will be, thank you, Lord, for this meal that you have given us. Or thank you for this day that you have given us, like in the morning. Or, at night we'll say something like, please let me sleep tonight. Things like that. There was no relationship. When you talk to a friend and you tell that friend, what's going on with you, your life, and, your kids, and, things like that. That's the relationship God wants to have with us. That friend relationship. He wants to hear about your day. He wants to hear about what you think. He wants to hear about what you want, what your heart desires, but also, your dreams, your goals, things like that. He wants to hear from you, and that wasn't happening. Reading the Bible, I will open the Bible and I will be like, oh, I'm too sleepy. I have to go to sleep. But then I tried to go to sleep and I couldn't. So that was there was no balance there. And that's what I started doing it. I got myself a journal, and I started doing, and I'm still doing them, Bible studies. And it's just, it's been great. God shows me wonderful things, and I had to write them down because I don't want to forget. And then I go back to those, and it's my soul just rejoices on the things that He has given me. Like right now, I'm doing a Bible study with some friends on Advent hymns, and I'm so enjoying that. I'm reading about, the hymn, the history of the hymn, the words, just meditating on the words of the hymn. They're so beautiful. And then they give you also in the study Bible verses with the Christmas story on it, and it's amazing. And there's Bible verses that I have read before, or the Christmas story that I have read before, but you read it with with that focus in mind, and it's just so beautiful. And then I like to write things down and just what God is showing me that particular day of of study. And there's some hymns that I never heard before, and it fills my soul. It's just amazing. And so things like that, I started doing it. I started reading the word. I started jotting down what God was showing me like that day for, the Bible verse, my prayer also. I started then taking care of my body. I started learning about food. And then I took the time to actually turn the box around of the food that I was buying and reading those ingredients. And half them I can't even pronounce, nor I know what they mean. And so when I started doing research, I started noticing, or I started realizing that I was putting food in my mouth that was not good for me, that was causing all these issues in my body. And have you ever done that? Have you ever, come to the realization that the food you love is actually so bad for you, it can kill you? And that was me. It was like a light bulb went off, and it's like, oh my God, I can't believe I've been eating this, and worse, I've been giving this to my own children. No more. And we have to switch that. And so that was a mindset switch that I had to learn. The first being my relationship with God, the second being the food that I eat. And then I started making changes in my daily routine. What is it that I enjoy doing? Yes, I do enjoy watching movies with my kids. You ask any mom and you say, what do you enjoy doing? And most likely they will say something like, I enjoy watching movies with my kids, baking cookies with my kids, going to the park with my kids, watching them play. It's always about the kids, and that is great. I love it too. I do. I love one of our Christmas traditions, for example. It's going around the neighborhoods that have to see houses that are decorated with lights and everything. That's one of our things that we do, and we love doing it. And we're in the car. If we can walk it, we walk it, and we just look at the lights and all that, and we talk about it and things like that, and we enjoy doing that together, and that is great. But what I'm talking about here is something that you, as a person, as a woman, as individual, enjoy doing. That's what you need to do alone. We all need me time. So in the past, my me time was, like I said before, mindless things. Now I put something else in it. For me, for example, that I enjoy doing is watercolor art. Now, I might not be the best artist out there in the whole wide world, but I really enjoy doing it, you guys. I really do. Sometimes I start painting and I don't even, I lose track of time. And when I look up, oh my God, it's 11 o'clock, I have to go to sleep. Because I'm just enjoying that so much that, it's, it brings satisfaction to me, and I love it. And so my kids love that I do this, and so they are very respectful whenever I go, okay, I'm gonna paint today. Oh, great, and they just leave me alone, and it's great. It is a great activity to do, just to kind of relax and get your mind off it. I put music on sometimes, or a podcast, or even a movie that just playing in the background, and I'm paying half attention to it. Something like that, and it's just some me time that I have. I do this at least twice a week, sometimes more often if I have jobs or commissions, but it's usually like when I do it for me, it's about twice or so a week. And it's a very relaxing and very good activity that I enjoy. Now, it might be something else for you different that you have. I don't know. It can any hobby that you enjoy doing by yourself, okay? I don't know, maybe it's reading, maybe it's needlepoint, maybe it's sewing. I don't sew, I glue. I always say that. But anything that you enjoy doing, you don't even have to be good at it. You don't. And if you want to become better at it, you can just watch YouTube videos for tutorials, and there you go. That's how I've learned, because I didn't study art or anything, but I've been watching tutorials on YouTube, how to teach me how to do watercolor. And that's how I learn, and that's great. I love it, But that had to be a very intentional mind switch. It didn't happen, just because. It happened because I really needed to take care of myself. I saw the need in my physical body, but also in my spiritual life. And with that in mind, I created a signature program that helps us moms, because I know life can be so overwhelming. I know that having kids, it's amazing, it's wonderful. I love my children, but I also know that I'm still a person. I'm still a woman. When Nathaniel was born, I became, instead of being Jessica Delgado, I became Nathaniel's mom. And I've been known as Nathaniel's mom for like ever since. Nathaniel's mom, Nathaniel's mom. But let's not lose our own identity. We are still that woman that needs, to fulfill your dreams and goals and all these things that you wanted to do. You still that person. But sometimes we kind of forget about that. And so with that in mind, that's why I created this program that teaches us how to establish a self-care routine, starting with a relationship with the Lord, because I know some of us just kind of leave that and kind of drift away from the Lord because we have some other things going on. And so I created rather a devotional to go with it. It's a 30-day devotional to get you started. It will take about 15-20 minutes a day, longer if you want. And it's so important. And I'm here to tell you, Mom, you are important. You are a child of God, and He wants you to take care of yourself. And so if you're interested in this, I'm giving, for this month of December 2020, I'm giving $10 off of the program. So you can get started. It's short videos and exercises. It's not going to take too much time, I assure you, because I know you're busy. But it will get you started in that self-care that you so need. Let me help you. Let me serve you. Let me guide you into that so you can have that. It's like, we're pouring and pouring and pouring and not receiving. Imagine you have guests for dinner and you have a pitcher of water. And you have to fill each cup with water, and eventually the pitcher runs out. Can you still pour the water? Of course not. You have to go and refill it of water so you can then still pour more water into the cups, right? It's the same thing. We tend to pour and pour of ourselves with everything that is going on, because I haven't even talked about school activities, church activities, the shopping, the cooking, everything, right? When we pour and pour and pour, and sometimes we run out and we are trying to pour more out of an empty cup. We need to fill our cups. We need to do that. And it's important, because then we become better moms, because we come from a place that we are relaxed, we are rested, we are not in a short fuse, we're not sure with our children, but we are loving, right? And so I encourage you to look into this. The link for this program is in the comments right here. And let me help you. I will love to work with you. You also get coaching one-on-one with me in that signature program. Lastly, I want to mention the blog that I just published. It is called 3 Ways Doors Open. And it's perfect for the new year that we're about to start. And I hope you can read it and also be blessed with it. I hope that you have a great day today, and we'll see you next week. Thank you for watching. Bye.